Hi, good morning. I'm Susie, and this is Simply Country Cuisine. So as promised, I am doing my new recipe for my ketchup. This is actually requested by my brother Jeff and my sweet niece, Jeanette. I sent them my recipe, and I'm going to give you my little secret. So I say keep it in the family. I can't call this organic because I'm not using organic tomatoes. I'm going to use half of this can because I'm going to make this a small batch of a 6-ounce batch, and this is 12 ounces. I learned something this weekend. I can't call it vegan because I'm using honey, and so we're going to get started. So I'll use half a can of this tomato paste. I guess I could just go ahead and make a whole one. I'll just get some more vinegar. And why I'm talking about the vinegar, I use a 5% acidity or higher, and I try to keep it at 5% because if I choose to can this, and you can can it in ball jars. To can your vegetables and such, always use a 5% or higher vinegar. It kills the bacteria in the growth of, it doesn't allow growth. Let me change that. It doesn't allow growth in your canned products. So I used it in this. So we will double the recipe today since I'm probably going to waste the other half I can. And before I turn the stove on, I'm going to scrape the whole 12 ounces of tomato paste. I just couldn't find an organic one. This ketchup went over like a bang, and it was kid approved because my great nephews had it on their hot dog and they loved it. The single serving, I would have put a half a cup of white vinegar and a quarter of a cup of water, but I'm going to double that, so I'll measure this out again. So that would be a half a cup of white vinegar, and I'm going to go over to the sink and put a quarter of a cup of water in here on top of this. So that gives me enough for 2 batches. I used all of my good Greek honey in the first batch, and I tried to find a local honey, and HEB has plenty of local honeys. Don't go with the most expensive one in this one, but I'm going to put in about 3/4 of a cup. Now, this would be the step if you wanted to not be healthy. You could use the corn syrup and sugar. I opted out. I didn't put the sugar in it, and I am not using corn syrup. I am using the honey. A teaspoon of kosher salt, sea salt. That was like about a teaspoon. Oh, I have to put 2 in there, don't I? Yes. And I add about a half, well, to this one. To the first one, I would probably put a quarter, but I'm adding about a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. Gives it a little bit of zing. I'm going to add a teaspoon of garlic powder to this. Normally, for one batch, it would be a half a teaspoon. Oh, that's a little bit more, but you know what? It's to taste anyway. You know, Susie likes garlic. Now, here's my secret ingredient. I'm using allspice. I like allspice in it. If I were making this singly, I'd put a half a teaspoon, but I'm going to put about a teaspoon. I'm going to put in what I think I would want to. Smells good. Okay. Voila. Now, that's it. Now, all we're going to do is turn this on medium-high, and we're going to cook it for about 25 minutes. Watch it. You're going to bring it to a boil and then take it down to a simmer for about 20-25 minutes. I can't express to you enough to keep an eye on it because it has the honey in it, it has the tomatoes on it, and it will stick and then burn. So you don't have to babysit it. We're going to reduce this down, and you'll be able to definitely see, because it'll thicken up a little bit, your line in your pan. It's almost like maybe making a candy. You want it to get thicker, and it'll stick a little bit. Because right now, this would not be, this is ketchup, but This would just roll off of any sandwich or anything you put it on. Find the ingredients on a recipe card in the comments below. Okay, welcome back. Now, it's been 25 minutes, and if Dina would come to the pot, she can see where it has reduced from the edging. You see that? Yours may or may not cook that much. I did stand here the whole time, and as you can tell by the stove, we have splashage, lots of it. So this is a good cleaning time to clean your stove. All right, so what I'm going to do, and I might as well set it here, it's not going to make any difference. I am going to sample it, if I don't burn my tongue off, just to make sure I have made it where it tastes good to me. Good ketchup. Yep. Yep, that's good. It's got just a, you can taste a little bit of vinegar. You can taste that allspice in there. I was sitting here imagining those beautiful French fries that Dina and I made several videos back, and I'm thinking, I may do that because I have leftover chicken for tomorrow's dinner. I may make some fries and serve this ketchup. Now, you can go to a process now to where you're canning this, and if you were doing that, you would have sterilized, probably half-pint jars maybe, unless you have a large family that ketchups everything, then go to a pint. Sterilize your jars, make sure they're hot, put your hot ketchup in the jar, leaving about a 1/2 inch headspace in it, wipe the rim, seal it with the lid and the ring, and put it in a boiling, it's called a cold bath, but put it in the boiling water and bring it to a boil with the jars in there for about 15 minutes. Turn it off, take your jars out, set them on a towel. Don't disturb them for 24 hours, and they'll seal. And they'll stay on your shelf for probably up to 3 or 4 years. I didn't make enough to do that. I made enough to put in a jar, and we will use it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I found these cute little red ketchup-y jars at IKEA. And I've had them for a little bit. And I've got my little funnel here. Now this may be too much for this jar, so I would just store the rest. I'm going to fill my jar up. Now, we have filled our jar up. I did have a little left over. I'll just put it in a little glass dish. And it's hot. Now, the other day, I let it set open like this, probably for about an hour, because these little jars have a ring on them, and I was afraid it would seal it, and I couldn't get it open. I'm not familiar with these jars. So this is the one I did the other day, and it's been in the refrigerator, as you can tell from the frost. So now this has been sitting since Saturday. Now I'm going to pour it out in my plate. Well, I tell you what, it thickens up pretty good, and I made a mess. Now, this was made the other day. I'm going to sample it because this is warm. Oh, super, super good. As you can see, this one would pour more freely. You can see the color difference. Same ingredients. This is set. This is set for several days. This is not. Tastes the same. Super good. Very healthy. No sugar. No high fructose corn syrup. When you actually are giving your children a potato or a hot dog or something, they're actually getting a vegetable here, and it's not bad for them. And always remember to subscribe, like, and share our videos on YouTube. We're featured on Facebook and Instagram. You can hit the QR code on that, and it'll shoot you right over to our YouTube channel. Remember, share it with your friends. We want to hit 1,000. And if you don't have a place to worship, please remember, any Glad Tidings location in Central Texas, there's one church, 5 locations. The Leander location has 2 services, 9 and 11. We would welcome you with loving open arms at absolutely any one of them. Have a blessed summer. Bye-bye.